Hey guys, what's going on? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we will be recapping the Cowboys' victory over the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Now, before we do that, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell. I hate doing that, but YouTube has been very weird with their notifications and all that other stuff. So please make sure to do that, and that would be great. Now, moving forward into this recap. So, the Cowboys came into MetLife Stadium. You know, they had an embarrassing loss to the Jets a couple weeks ago, and they managed to kind of redeem themselves, you know, with a 37-18 shellacking of the Giants. Now, I will say that it should be really 30-18, but the last touchdown was garbage time. So, But the fact of the matter is that Cowboys did what they had to do. Yeah, they started off really slow. Dak Prescott threw that boneheaded interception on the first play of the game, but after that, he rebounded really well. You know, he threw 22 completions on 35 attempts for 257 and 3 touchdowns. You know, a great rebound, you know, especially considering where the game was going. So Dak, you know, looked just good. You know, he looked great, you know. I understand that there were moments he had, but you had situations where, you know, Randall Cobb was dropping passes. You had situations where certain receivers were dropping passes. And I'm not trying to give full excuse because, yeah, Dak has to get better at those things. I also heard that Dak got his wisdom teeth taken out during the bye week. I don't know why you would do that. He had 4 removed, but good lord, man. But that's a whole nother thing. But listen, Dak did his thing. He led the team to victory. He commanded the offense very well. And the Cowboys were able to do very well in the passing game. You know, let's move over to the receiving game. You had Amari Cooper with 4 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown that put the game away. Fantastic play by Amari Cooper to, you know, take advantage of the situation and get where he had to be. Yeah, he was hurt for a bit, and I was worried. I was like, oh no, like, here we go again. All good. Jason Witten had you know, he was doing well. 8 receptions, 58 yards, no touchdowns, but hey, listen, Witten is being effective when he needs to be. I'm not expecting him to give you, like, the greatest amount of yardage. All I'm expecting him to be is a target to throw to and him to be effective, and he did just that. Blake Jarwin, I gotta give him props as well, and as well as Michael Gallup, but Blake Jarwin, his only reception and his only target, 42 yards and a touchdown to put the Cowboys back into the game. You also had Michael Gallup, who had that acrobatic touchdown with his 2 receptions for 33 yards. You know, so the Cowboys did really, really well in terms of their passing game. You know, obviously with a couple hiccups in there. But moving to the rushing stats, the Cowboys did a great job with how they administered the running game to the Giants. They just ran it down their throat, and Zeke was effective. He was getting 5, 6, then he would get an occasional 10 or something like that. 23 attempts for 139 yards. He was averaging like 6 yards a pop. And yeah, sure, he didn't get into the end zone, but that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is play an effective game on offense, and the Cowboys are doing just that. They're the number 1 offense in the league in terms of yardage. They're the 3rd highest scoring offense in the league as well. They're like the 4th best rushing attack, as well as the top 5 in passing. So the Cowboys have a really balanced offense. Not only that, the Cowboys are really on pace to not only have a good offense this year. They're on pace to have their first 1,000 yard rusher with 10 plus rushing touchdowns and 1,000 yard receiver and 10 plus touchdowns since 2014. They're on pace for that. And, you know, that offense was dynamic. Yeah, sure, you know, they had different ways of going about their seasons, but the Cowboys look really good on offense. And I don't want anyone to try and tell you otherwise. The Cowboys have one of the best offenses in football right now, and I don't care what anyone tells you, because not only do the stats prove it, they're just very well balanced. And again, I understand Christian McCaffrey's having a better season in terms of yards and stats and whatever, but guess what? Ezekiel Elliott is by far the best running back in the league, because now that he's being managed correctly and the Cowboys are capable of just administering him effectively, And considering they have great weapons on the receiving end, this Cowboys team is going to be tough to stop if they get on a roll. And if they start, winning a game, they win this game, then they win the next game, and then they win the next game, this team is going to be tough to stop, guys. 110% being honest with you. Now, let's move over to the defensive side of the ball. Now, Sean Lee, he looked great. 9 tackles to lead the team. Had that, fantastic game. He was all over the place. Classic Sean Lee, And with Leighton Vander Esch being out, I'm actually shocked. I was shocked that the how things went at linebacker. To show that Sean Lee was still having those shades of being what he could be, and and that's next man up mentality, and the Cowboys did exactly that. In terms of sacks, the Cowboys had 5 total sacks. So Jalen Smith and Robert Quinn combined for a sack. You had Dorrance Armstrong, Malik Collins, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Michael Bennett also get sacks. Fantastic showing by the defensive line. They were constantly giving Daniel Jones pressure, and they were able, they weren't able to completely shut him down, obviously, but the Cowboys, defensive line, and them adding Michael Bennett, this defensive line looks a hell of a lot better, considering, how good it was starting to look. And that's being honest, they looked a lot better now, especially since the season got, going. And they actually are starting to generate sacks now. In terms of turnovers, man, the Cowboys got 3 turnovers this game. They had an interception by Xavier Woods. He's been playing great. He's actually the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Congratulations to him. Because he also got a forced fumble, which led to a fumble recovery by Thompson, number 23. So great on him. And then you also had the scoop and score touchdown after, it was a sack fumble counted, by, I believe it was counted as a sack fumble. I don't know if I don't know exactly if they put that in the stat sheet, so if someone can tell me, that'd be perfect. By Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis has been making plays, guys, and I'm glad that the Cowboys are giving him his playing time, because he's been very great when he's been on the field. Looking at how the Cowboys disrupted the Giants, Daniel Jones, 26 for 41, 210 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He had a very pedestrian passing game, but he looked, in terms of, running the football, man, he's leading the league, I believe, in fumbles lost, and the Cowboys took advantage of it. That's how you're supposed to, take care of a rookie quarterback, and the Cowboys did just that. Daniel Jones was their leading rusher with 6 attempts for 54 yards. The Cowboys held Barkley in check for 14 attempts for 28 rushing yards. You could not ask for a much better job than that, okay? I also want to mention this as well, is that, yes, Saquon had that great return in terms of that screen pass, but outside of that, the Giants' running game was completely inept. Outside of a couple gadget things with Golden Tate and Daniel Jones doing his read option zone read plays, And, the Cowboys took care of business where they had to, They really put the Giants on ice, after that. And we saw the Black Cat come onto the field. After the Black Cat left, the Cowboys outscored the Giants 34-9. Think about that. That's just crazy. But if that's if you believe in superstition, I get my superstitions here and there, but that's besides the point. The Cowboys 3 turnovers turned into 13 points. The Cowboys had 2 giveaways as well. They had the interception and the Randall Cobb fumble, but they did very well. Limiting the Giants in the red zone as well. The Giants got into the red zone plenty of times, and the Cowboys allowed the Giants to get nothing. So that was great by them. Special teams unit, okay? Moving over to the special teams unit, Brett Maher was 3 for 4. His longest was 52 yards, and he had 4 extra points. Whether you like him or not, yeah, sure, he missed the field goal. But listen, man, you can't win a game off of field goals. Yeah, I want him to make every single kick. I'm not giving him those excuses. But the fact is that when you have to rely on your kicker so many times, the odds are of him missing are going to increase. And he, when he had to make that kick to get us the lead going into halftime, he did it. And, after that miss, he was pretty fine. And he didn't, he's looked very good you know, I'm not going to sit here and trash on him. Yeah, I was kind of pissed off at him, you know, at certain points, but I got to give praise where praise is due. Brett Maher has been relatively consistent, you know, over the past couple of games. Yeah, sure, he has his misses here and there. And that's going to happen when you continue to give kickers more volume amounts of kicks. But at least we don't have, you know, the older kickers. You know I was talking about maybe we get Matt Bryant, and now he's not even a part of the Falcons anymore because he hasn't looked good at all this season. You know, so thank you, Brett. By the way, since we're facing the Vikings this week, we're going to see the return of Dan Bailey. You know, so that's going to be interesting. You know, and if I remember, I think the Cowboys only punted like twice, if I remember. Like, I think they only punted twice the entire game, which is really good. Because, you know, they ended up resulting in field goals or some scores. So, overall, Cowboys had a more or less complete team effort, and they're going to need this going forward. At the halfway point, they're 5-3. That's a 2-game improvement from last year, you know, and they're in the driver's seat of the NFC East. You know, it's not over, guys. I'm not saying it's over. I'm not implying that when I say, oh, there's good stuff about the Cowboys. Because guess what? We still have to go out there. And we have to, you know, do our thing. And we have the Vikings coming up. They're 6-3. They're a tough opponent. We should be able to take care of them, especially at home. But if we, you know, we got to start stacking wins now. Because, you know, you have some NFC opponents coming up. You need to start stacking those wins. And I think the Cowboys will do just that. You know, I think I've gone on for long enough. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this game. You know, put down in the comment section how you felt. You know, all that other stuff. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. You can and hit the notification bell. You can follow me on Twitter in the description box below. And I will be seeing you guys soon, because I know the week's been messed up because we had the early Monday game for the preview against the Vikings and the Cowboys. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
Used to live in Sin Cities like Bruce Willis, but I'm Jackie Chan, karate chopping, I'm still kicking. I used to be chopped and screwed, I'm little flipping. Now I'm nice, Mike Jordan, so who's pippin'? I'm running man, you the running man, you still slipping. I hit records, you swinging, it's still